All right, here we go, folks. The last day. This is it. Some win or go home action in this GKR fall split. Top 6 make playoffs. Seam Esports needs to steal one in emphatic fashion over Rising Sun today, or they go home empty-handed. Second match will be Enosis up against French SWAT, and Enosis could have the pressure on them if Seam gets the win over Rising Sun. It could be Enosis that gets knocked out. All that happening today. And it's going to be a fun one. Taking a look at the standings right now, as you can see, Enosis Esports 2-4, just like Seam and Tropical. Rising Sun at 3-3. So Seam with a win would tie Rising Sun at 3-4. Enosis needs to jump back in. Talk about success so far in this competition. World finalist and world champion Ruben. 90% clip so far in his gameplay for shot CALALAS. Pedro, 5-1 in his games. But right now, it's all about Seam and Rising Sun. Seam needs to hold off Enosis Esports today, or risk not making playoffs. But they have a tough task in front of them with a couple world finalists from this year in Airsurfer and Pandora. Not to mention Guriko, Ta. Be very difficult for newbie Quentin and Paolo. And Hugo. I asked in the Twitch chat, we're on both Twitch and YouTube, who's winning match 1. And that's a nice comment there. All of us for getting you as a caster. Aw, thank you. Very much do appreciate the love and support. Set number 1, the 3v3 BO1s. Newbie versus Ta, Quentin versus Guriko, and if necessary, Paolo versus Pandora. Set number 2, King of the Hill. Newbie Quentin, Hugo versus Pandora, Guriko, Airsurfer. And if we need it, the championship set, Hugo versus Ta. And Mr. Super asking, why are there 2 Hugos? Because those are different sets. This is the lineup for the 3 sets, if we play all 3. Should get a look at the bands here in just a minute. But for now, let's pop out here. Hey, how are you? Oh, you know what I didn't do? Oh, they're right in the gameplay. Never mind. No, look at the bands. Well, let's go ahead and jump right into the action then. No surprises here. Both sides banning the Goblin Giant. Barb and Recruit Evos both out. That should give a little buff to the Royal Giant play for sure. Rising Sun banning Goblin Barrel and Drill as well. And so far, running minor MK Prince. We've seen the Hog variant very popular as of late, but for now, Ta going with the minor version and getting excellent success early on. 1552, he's barely taken a lick. Stank Buddy asking, for the bans, is it just the other team can't use, or neither team can? Bans are global. Nobody can use them. Royal Ghost doing a lot of work for newbie on the defensive end of the board, but not enough as he's down a lot early. Good little reflection usage there with the Firecracker to activate King Tower. Won't be as pivotal, though, in this Royal Giant matchup, and this is where this deck is going to struggle a bit for Ta. Does not get Royal Giants down quickly. So despite the early lead, Newbie back in control, and that Mega Knight creates a ton of problems. And this has been just a back-and-forth slugfest after the opening chunk of damage was done by Ta. 376. I don't expect that there's a big spell here for Ta, so he does have to break through. And those wall breakers will do it. There's nothing for him. Newbie gets run through here. GG, well played. Easy stuff for Ta to open things up. So that's game number 1 of our 3v3 BO1s. Ta taking it for Rising Sun Esports. Things looking rough for Seam. Remember, if Seam loses and Enosis wins, that's going to open things up pretty bad for Seam. Enosis will leapfrog them into the top 6. Here we go, game 2. Rising Sun certainly favored on the way in and looking good thus far. Maybe some E-Giant here for Quentin. Those arrows will be nice for Guriko to continuously not allow. It might be Goblin Giant instead. Arrows plus Fireball. Very nice for Guriko in this matchup. As long as he manages correctly, should not be lacking for a needed spell in given moments. Expect that Quentin has another big spell to go along with that Snowball. So far, so even between these two. Spells might end up being the difference. At the moment, Quentin has a slightly faster deck with the 2 elixirs saved versus the 4 for Snowball versus Fireball. We'll see how the minions stack up as we get deeper into Guriko's deck here. But that placement is not what Quentin wanted. Bomber goes bye-bye, and now he's going to have to respond to this Bomber with a overly aggressive Inferno Dragon that's going to get chunked a little bit. Arrows do save the day. But this is still going to come out in favor of Guriko. Loon shouldn't be a problem. Fireball, and now back into their Inferno Tower. Guriko with more on the board, but not going to press the advantage here. Just going to take the opportunity to reset while Quentin is forced to spend Elixir on that Inferno Dragon. So that sequence works out very nicely for Guriko. And now he puts some opposite lane pressure with a Night Loon push. And Snowball for knockback, but this should result in at least 1, if not 2 drops. And that is a huge lead opened up by Guriko with 2 minutes left. And all that comes from Guriko really getting a nice elixir advantage, and then rather than pressing it, continuing to force the same conversation on the left-hand lane and then going in. Patience for Guriko, giving him lots of dividends right now. And now Quentin trying to go for the same idea with the opposite lane Loon push. That will go right into an Inferno Dragon. Snowball will get him a shot. And puts him back in the conversation. Still pretty far behind, but not insurmountably so. And right now, it's all about these little pressure plays. Tiny little pressure plays here. Snowball from Quentin to separate. Guriko might need a fireball here, and he does. Going to take death damage, though, I believe. Yeah. Guriko is arrows fireball away from winning, so you see the arrows come out, and now it's just block that lane until the fireball is ready. And there it is. GG, well played. Clean 2-0 first set from Rising Sun Esports. Seem in trouble. Their season hopes hanging in the balance in this King of the Hill set coming up next. Newbie Quentin Hugo against Pandora, Guriko, Airsurfer. And very toxic set of emotes make it into my Twitch chat there. Unless that's sad for French, for Seam. I don't know, is that celebrating Rising Sun or sad for French Seam? Is that toxic or is that commiserating? I'm not entirely sure. I don't know the answer to that question. Hope all of you are no comment. And might be a little toxic. Who knows? Oh, let me go ahead and change these scores because these scores are not accurate. Oh, there we go. Akash, hey, what's up, Akash? How are you? Glad you're here on what is this final day of GKR. For those of you who are watching right now, obviously we missed a few GKR streams for the middle of the season. Do you still want to see those matches? Are you still interested in those, or are those kind of like old news now because they already happened? Let me know. Zap sets up, or not Zap, Sparky to open things up for Newbie. That's a real ladder play. I don't like what I am seeing here. It might even work. That's the crazy part. It might work, but I don't like it. Mini P.E.K.K.A will get 2. Oh, just 1. This is the final day of the regular season, 2 matches, and then we have playoffs coming up soon. I don't like that. I know that play worked. I don't like it because you're just gambling. I don't like any plays where you open and just go, let me just gamble. Let me just walk in, bet it all on red, and see what happens. Not to mention, look at the damage he took on the right-hand lane. Newbie living up to his name here with the opening gameplay. And that will be more easy damage. King Tower activation irrelevant at this stage. And Mini P.E.K.K.A kited all the way to create enough room for the Prince to do its job. And I just don't... And I'll turn around nicely at least to save that. I just don't understand opening Sparky. Opening Sparky and then throwing a monk in front of it to start the game. It just seems like you're playing with just hope, and that's it. X Savage, yo, what's going on? Well, we're here in the final day where Seam Esports had a really good chance, had a chance to make playoffs, and is seemingly struggling with that chance. Now, this is a big turn. That did turn into a tower down, so we are going to a much different situation. Pandora's in CRL finals. Yes, Pandora is a world finalist. So the Sparky play did work. Nasit's saying Newbie's playing like a mid-ladder player. I agree. The Sparky play did work. Because that's what this deck can do. It can get back at you late. But you know what? When I see competitive play, I want to see players play at a level that I can't. That's kind of my thing, right? I want to see you play and play better than I play. Pandora does need to take care of this mini P.E.K.K.A. And he does. 2 towers in danger for Pandora. Can you opt out on ban cards? Yes, you're not required. Bans, you have the option to ban. You are not required to ban. I like these bats here on top of the Sparky now that he knows there's no way to counter them. Second Sparky, and what a Mega Knight. What a Mega Knight out of Pandora. Beautiful, beautiful Mega Knight. Make sure he gets the damage. This matchup got much harder for Pandora once we got into this situation. And looks like our spectator might have froze a little bit. Yeah, a little disconnect. Wall breakers both connect on that King Tower. Newbie might win this. Newbie's going to win this. And I'm not happy about it. Nothing against Newbie, but you know, you kind of see what some of the pros are complaining about with... Wait a second. I'm confused. Let me go back and look at something here. I'm a little confused. Let me turn the music back on for a second. What was so special about the MK? It pulled focus away from the... It didn't end up working out as much as he had hoped, but it pulled the focus away from the miner and allowed the miner to actually get shots on tower when the miner was about to get absolutely erased. And then was making room to try to weave the wall breakers through. All right, let me kill this music here. What a weird Sparky deck out of Newbie. Newbie spell cycled on Princess when King was lower HP. Yeah, it wasn't the best. The MK, in my opinion, nearly brought that back to a win for Rising Sun. And wall breakers go coast to coast for Newbie. How do you feel about this cold weather in Texas? I guess it's a nice change from the hot weather. I just prefer nice mid plays. Ed Paul, you hated on Newbie for playing Sparky, but praised MK. Both are mid-ladder menaces. I don't praise choosing Mega Knight, and I didn't like what I was ragging on Newbie for was opening Sparky as first play behind tower. The opening play. Look, people can play Sparky. I think Sparky is fine. It's annoying right now. People can play it. The opening play, nice zap there to get the mini P.E.K.K.A. I think it gets snow. Nice log. I didn't hate on Newbie for playing Sparky, even though I do see how annoying Sparky is right now overall. But that opening play was super mid. Just opening Sparky behind tower, having no clue what your opponent's playing. That ain't it. That ain't it. And the MK play, I thought they, well, I mean, look, I didn't think it was worth the time. Like, it was worth it. Just fed his push, and the wall breakers didn't connect anyways. Well, it was a good play. It was a great idea that didn't work. But when it came down, I liked it. But Mega Knight isn't mid-ladder menace. Mega Knight is just something that mid-ladder players complain about because they're trash. But Mega Knight is normal and fine and in plenty of high-level competitive decks. The only reason normal is quote-unquote mid-ladder menace is because players don't know how to play against it, and so they complain about it all day. Yes, I guess, but a mistake at the end, right. I don't know. I mean, he had to make a play to get back. I don't know if I'd call it a mistake. It was well handled. And now Newbie up 2-0. Mega Knight is mid-ladder menace. I mean, yes, but only because mid-ladder players are trash. Like, Mega Knight is a fine... There's nothing inherently cheesy about Mega Knight the same way there's something inherently cheesy about Goblin Giant being OP right now, or about Royal Recruits Evo, or, you know, like, there's nothing inherently cheesy about Mega Knight. It's just that mid-ladder players are like, Mega Knight, I don't know what to do! And then they get wrecked because they don't know what to do. Issue is that Witch Wizard behind MK, which doesn't bother good players, which only that only bothers... MK is annoying and insanely overused. Yeah, it's insanely overused because people at that level are bad, and they don't know how to handle it. It's like, yeah, Mega Knight can be countered with a single Knight. Mega Knight is so easily handleable, and it's so easily handleable with good decks in the meta, and with basic cards, but players are so bad that they go, oh, Mega Knight is so OP. You know, here's how you tell someone's a bad player, is if they complain about Mega Knight or Hog Rider as being OP. Those are the two. That's in my opinion the easiest way to tell me that you are mediocre at the game, is if you're like, Hog Rider's so OP, Mega Knight is the worst. Skill issue. Skill issue. I'm not even an MK support. I don't even like Mega Knight. I'm just like... And Mega Knight gets me sometimes, too. I get annoyed when I fail to properly control one. But I'm just not whining about it. People saying Hog is OP. Nah. Hog's balanced. I cannot think of any change you would make it where it wouldn't be dead. Of win conditions is probably the most balanced, in my opinion. I know you had to make a recipe play, in my opinion. That MK was not it, but I indeed like the idea. Sure. I don't know what these MK mid-up players are doing, but they always hee-hee-ha with every win. Yeah. Because people are terrible. You can counter MK with 2 spirits. Yeah, you can counter MK a lot of different easy ways. Just people gotta learn how to counter it. The sweater Airsurfer has is nice. I have that same sweater. I have the same one. And here we go. Little off on the timing there. Is that off on the timing, or is that a true red, true blue interaction? Because I believe you can just... That should be counterable every time with the mini P.E.K.K.A. Well, Airsurfer saying if you can't beat him, join him. Zap. Not going to be it for Airsurfer there. And now Newbie going double knights plus. Oh, yeah, this is a problem for Airsurfer. This is a real problem for Airsurfer. The Mini P.E.K.K.A needs to go to the Hog or he's in major trouble. Takes a big shot here. And the Mini P.E.K.K.A Rage able to hold on. And that was a good read by Newbie, knowing the arrows are going to have to go to the Firecracker. And Airsurfer just can't keep up here. And Airsurfer trying to just go for the overwhelm and ignore the Hog Rider. That Mini P.E.K.K.A is going to require something. Does it get a shot here? Does not, but the log has to be spent, and now slight elixir lead. Is Airsurfer back to anything that can stop this Hog? And he is not. So Airsurfer needs to get a immediate... Nah, GG. Nah, GG. No way. That's it. Well, nice little King of the Hill sweep for Newbie. Did it all kinds of ways. All kinds of ways. And keeps Seam alive for our third and final set. Give the man his flowers. Now it's Hugo Ta to decide it all. Hugo Ta for the match. Duel mode. Bans no longer in effect. His gameplay from game 1 to game 3 was literally night and day. Yeah, totally different stuff. Totally different stuff indeed. That was wild. Maybe we just went through three of the best in the world. Yeah, game 1 was weird. Game 2 was good. Game 3, I don't know that matchup. It feels like that's hard for Sparky, but also it felt like the Mini P.E.K.K.A could have been on the Hog more. That does feel hard for Sparky, though. Buy me a CRL finals ticket. They're only 49 euros. The real price, Akash, is the flight. Is banning actually in a game mode in game, or is they do pre-match? It's something they do like from a League Ops perspective. DJ Wilkes, why is chat not working for me? I don't know. No, there's no in-game banning system. They do it. Each team submits their bans to the League Operations team, and then they just don't put those in their decks. Lots of Evo night, no surprises. Or they do and give free wins away. Oh yeah, if you play them, that's a free win, yes. It's a rule violation and a free win to the opponent. All right, so E-Giant both directions. I think I like the cannon here better than the tombstone, although the tombstone still gives value after being lightning, so. Surprised we don't see Royal Recruits. We didn't see Royal Recruits in the first 2 sets because Evo Recruits were one of the bans, and regular Recruits aren't that great compared to Evo Recruits. There are no bans in this 3rd set because it's the duel mode, so we might see Evo Recruits at some point here. Brandon saying, doesn't the Chinese version of the game have some sort of card ban feature? I have no idea. I've never played the Chinese version. So both players were anticipating a recruits matchup here in game one. Neither one got it. I do think the advantage here goes to Hugo. Oh, I don't know. I mean, because the Phoenix is better against the Baby Dragon, but the Lightning doesn't kill the Baby Dragon. That's an interesting relationship. Bar Barrel tries to predict the cannon. Do we see a late cannon from Hugo? And we do. Tombstone doing a good job of controlling the Knights for Ta. Lead still significant here for Hugo. All it takes is one. But at the moment, Hugo in control. Doing a good job of not giving great lightning value so far. And Hugo getting into the lightning cycle game early, recognizing that not going to be a lot of breakthroughs. And Hugo getting a nice lineup here with the bowler. How does he defend this, though? He needs to get the Phoenix on there and the Knight probably, too, as well. Maybe just the Knight. And now Ta starting to pour it on. No elixir for lightning right now, so this E-Giant's going to die on the vine for Ta. But he's still trying to put the pressure on at the bridge here. He might... No, decides not to. He did. Wow. I thought he was going to hold off on the NATO here because of the Knight play in the middle by Hugo. But instead he goes for it, and that's going to end up being a big problem for him. I don't know how Ta comes back in here. I don't think he does. I think Hugo's got game number one. And that's a GG. Game one goes for Hugo. Good job of not giving lightning value and taking it early where he needed it. And now we go into game number two with pretty similar decks played by both players in the first set. Give me 1 second here, folks. There we go. There we go. And Baby Dragon, the difference here, I mean, also the Tombstone. But Baby Dragon's a pretty significant difference because Hugo now, I don't know if you're going to play anything that's Baby Dragon, no NATO, but recruits open for both players. Recruits likely from one, if not both players. Let's go. Game two. Steven and Andy saying they think Tombstone had the advantage there. I don't know about that. Tarth saying, Rich, who's a more skillful MMA fighter, John Jones or Demetrius Johnson? I mean, you're talking about two guys who are both arguably, you can make a strong case for either one as the GOAT. Insane skill on both levels, especially relative to their divisions. That, like, suplex to flying armbar that DJ got. I can't remember who he got it on. But, like, one of the greatest things I've seen ever in the cage. But people forget, like, John Jones on the way up. What he was doing to everybody was crazy. And Ta, I think, going to try to go for the trade here. Does this trade mean anything? Arrows for the firecracker. I don't think Hugo has a reset here. Hugo has no reset here. Wow. Hugo running arrows and no second spell, maybe? I was at the fight. Can't remember what the event number was, but it was in Vegas, and it's one of the greatest nights in UFC history. That was the night that John Jones just buzzsawed Ryan Bader to earn his title shot. They told him that night in the ring that he'd earned the title shot because Rashad Evans was injured, and this should be GG here. Yep, there you go. Tied up. I was at that fight that night. So that night, yeah, John Jones just absolutely got on top of Ryan Bader and smashed him. And then that's also the night of the Anderson Silva front kick to the face against Vitor Belfort. That was the craziest night. Who else was on that card? I think I saw Noah. I think like Noad Lahat got like knocked out in the first. Let me see. Let me look up Anderson Silva. Getting to see Anderson Silva fight in real life, and then that fight being where he front kicks Vitor Belfort in the face. Oh, man. That's like one of those ones I'll never forget. Went there with one of my best friends in the world. It was so fun. Let's see. UFC 126. That was. Yeah, like Forrest Griffin, Rich Franklin was the co-main event. Yeah, John Jones just, he submitted Bader with the guillotine. Oh, yeah, Jake Ellenberger, Miguel Torres. I forgot that Miguel Torres fought that night. Oh, yeah, Donald Cerrone that night. And then DJ was on a prelim. Whoa, I forgot about that. DJ was on a prelim. Oh, no, it was Gabe Rudiger who got KO with the head kick. That's right. It was Gabe Rudiger. God, what a lineup that was. I forgot that DJ was on that card. It's been so long. Got to see three GOATs. Anderson Silva, John Jones, Donald Cerrone, or Demetrius Johnson, and before DJ, Miguel Torres was the guy at bantamweight. God, that was cool. All right, here we go. Final set, or final game of this match. And interesting choices here. Mortar getting a bit of a buff with EQ out. No bar barrel, no NATO, no arrows for Hugo. So Ta here running the skeleton barrel. That's going to be a bit more challenging for Hugo, although you see him opting for some splash plus the Skeleton King. Is this double bait for Ta? Is he running a Mega Knight here? I don't think so. My brother went to see Khabib McGregor in person, which I got to see a UFC fight live before leaving the U.S. Ta should have Eva recruits, says Smurfblade. Oh, boy. Just nothing for Hugo there. Nothing for Hugo there. Completely out of elixir. And Ta just takes full advantage. And recruits finally open up for Hugo. Mortar to control Mortar. Although that Mortar might lock Skeleton King for Hugo, not on Taw's Mortar, which is going to let that hang out a little bit longer and win that fight. And this should be GG. Fireball value on top of that. Not just the Skelly Dragons getting taken care of, but giving value. And Seam Esports made it interesting, but couldn't deliver. Newbie with the King of the Hill sweep. Hugo gets the game 1 win, can't get it done in 2 or 3. And now that opens things up for Enosis to leapfrog them in the standings. As we go into our final match of the day, Enosis will be in control of their own fate. I don't know why they're putting Newbie as the MVP. They're putting the MVP as the guy on the team that lost. I haven't seen that before here. But okay. But all right. Okay, let's go ahead and adjust these scores here. And you'll see that our next matchup here in just a few minutes will be French SWAT versus Enosis. I'm curious to see if French SWAT shows up because they have a notorious problem of just not showing up for their matches. But again, Enosis, with a win here, would leapfrog Seam. They'd be 3-4 and knock Seam Esports out of that top 6. So we get some drama here at the end. Hitarth asking, who's a more dangerous kicker, Primates and Barbosa or Disengaging? Barbosa, for sure. For sure. The nasty leg kicks, the nasty head kicks, the wheel kicks. Dude, Barbosa, for sure. Dante, Rich, I've been stuck in Arena 7 for 3 years. How do I go up? Like, are you talking, I don't even, when people say Arena 7, okay, rephrase that in terms of, are you talking about, is that, I don't even, when people say, like, what arena they're in, or people say, like, I'm in Spooky Town or whatever, I never know what that means. Like, are you, is that, that's not League, that's, like, what, that's the other thing that I don't play? The Trophy Road? You're stuck in Arena 7? Like, at 2,000 trophies? Like, you're stuck in this arena? Like the 2,000 trophy Arena 7? What's your highest ranked season finish? I don't have a ranked season finish. I'm not that level at this game. I'm a good commentator. Dante, if you're stuck at 2,000 trophies for 3 years, I honestly, like, I'm not even trying to be a jerk. I don't know how to help that. Like, I don't even know, like, are your cards level 9? Like, I don't understand. I'm really not trying to be a jerk, but that's, like, that doesn't make any, I don't know how to respond to that. Like, how to give you good advice on how to break past, like, 2,000 trophies in 3... You're at 2,000 trophies after 3 years of playing? Like, I don't even understand what your, like, what does your deck look like? What are your card levels? That just seems, and I'm not trying to be a jerk. That just seems functionally impossible. Like, the lack of you have to be trolling. The lack of plausibility. I'm just assuming you're trolling, because the lack of plausibility of what you just said means there's no way that that's even humanly possible. So yeah, either you're a troll or you're completely or you're not helpable. One of those two. Greetings from Finland. Rich in game to sport. Yes. Hey, I never plug code Rich. I really don't. You know, it's hard to like people don't like ask for stuff. Where is code Rich? Does the thing work? There you go. Code Rich. I like never actually plug it. But it'd be awesome if you guys used it in game. That supports me. Especially now with some new stuff coming out very soon, right? You don't want to get that new stuff? Put in code Rich. Go right now into your game, into the shop area, put in code Rich, so when you go get new stuff, that it supports me. How about that? Technically, I didn't say that he played. It's possible he had the account for 3 years, but not played the game since reaching Arena 7. I mean, yes, Smurf played. That is technically true. But, I think that's almost 100% a troll. And if it's not, and somehow I'm hurting your feelings, I'm really sorry. I don't know how to respond, how to give any advice on that. Let's see. Hit that like button, y'all. Thank you, Kurt. It would be helpful. Likes are good. We're going to find out in a few minutes if French SWAT actually shows up. Because they know French SWAT can't make it. It'd be so annoying for Seam if French SWAT doesn't show up. Enosis gets a free win and knocks Seam out. He got to be trolling. He got to be trolling. Yeah, you got to be trolling. You're trolling. If you can fog a mirror, you can make it past 2,000 trophies. I'm really curious. French SWAT doesn't show up. That's low-key a tongue twister. Yeah. I'm going to ask them. Is French SWAT going to show up? My guess is no. My guess is they don't, because what evolution do you want? Well, first what I want is for evolutions to not have stat buffs. That's the first thing I want. What card do I want to be evolved? Here's the lineups. Let's see. I'll believe it when I see gameplay. Kakashi, Crazy Hulk, and Safe for the first set. Sta, Kitassyan, and Kazutun for Enosis. Sta using a weird avatar of some sort for his photo. What card do I want them to give a... let's see. An evolution to? We haven't had an evolved spell yet. Evo Zap could be interesting. Maybe get Zap back in the mix. Trying to think of what's super underpowered or what's underused. We already have an Evo building. We have too many Evo swarms. Something flying, maybe Evo minions. But we have Evo bats. But bats are so yuck. Bats don't work. I want to see Minion Horde get evolution. That'll kill Firecracker. No, Firecracker might need to get killed a little bit, dude. We need Evos that balance out Evos. You know what I mean? I think that's one of the big things. All right. Oh, I muted myself accidentally. Have I been muted for a while? I must have pressed the wrong button. French SWAT banning Minor Knight, and then Enosis banning Mother Witch, Arrows, Pump, and the Evo recruits. Yeah, I must have accidentally when I was switching button to button. I must have pressed it. And taking a look at the lineup, Kakashi versus Sta, Crazy Hulk versus Kitassyan, and if we get there, Safe versus Kazutun. Evo Zap confuses trips and they switch sides for 1 to 2 seconds. What? Evo iDrag? Well, again, I think they're starting with commons for Evos. So we haven't had an Evo spell yet. I think that Zap or Snowball would be interesting candidates for some sort of Evo if we're going to do an Evo spell, just because their use rates are so low. Right? Like, especially also because they would maybe reduce the use rate of Log, which would change the game up a bit. So I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind one of those. Evo Bats were such a drag that seeing something like Evo Minions would be interesting. Just because then we get the actual viable flying Evo. Ooh, interesting. I wonder how they'll handle Evos for troops that exist among multiple cards, like will regular goblins, spear goblins, or goblin gang all receive separate evolutions? That's interesting. I think so. I think so. I don't think they're going to have concurrent evolutions. All right, we actually are getting gameplay here. French SWAT showed up. So here we go. What's up, French SWAT? Nice little value monk out of Kakashi. Wonder if someone will run a little more Archer Queen because Evo Knight is out. Kakashi forced to dramatically overspend on that defense, and now Sta should have a really good chance to put the pressure on. I do not have any clue on the next card that I am able to share with you. All right. Hog goes to the bomb tower. And a little surprised that Sta wasn't able to capitalize. Kakashi was clearly anticipating that with the monk pick. Yeah. Anticipating the Archer Queen play, for sure. I think there should be a ladder for every game mode. This make the game very good. There's a lot of ladders. So far, Sta with a pretty good lead. This will chip into that. Maybe even take it over. Not quite changing hands, but hold on, folks, taking care of something. 1 second, folks. Samantha saying, wanna see Rascal's evolution? They're not really viable. That'd be interesting. I wonder what that would look like. Sta just so far ahead here. Sta very far ahead. And Sta does have no tank here. Hasn't needed one. This Hog might get a couple shots. I don't know if it's going to matter. Nope. GG. Well played. Easy win for Sta in game number 1. Nicely done. Evo, Archer will ruin the CRL for me. Why will it ruin CRL for you? What's with the dramatics? Why would it ruin? WoW going to copy his deck. Folks, I would not suggest copying decks from this event because these decks operate in the mini meta. Look at the cards. The Minor, Evo Knight, Evo Recruits, Mother Witch, Arrows, Pump all banned. Right? Like, look at those. Those bans create a mini meta. 6 cards that you don't have to encounter. I would not copy decks from this event. Not the place to do it from. So game number 2 coming up here in a second. Crazy Hulk versus Kitassyan. One second. And with the opening of the Royal Ghost, Kitassyan just drops that golem right into it. And Lumberjack almost creates a problem, not quite. So Lumberjack will do nicely against the Royal Giant. I wonder how Kitassyan plans to keep the Lumberjack on the Royal Giant. Interesting game so far, says Smurfblade. Yeah, I haven't tried to handle something, communication that I have to deal with at the same time. Do I think Minor needs a nerf? No, I do not think Minor needs a nerf. Everyone uses Minor because it's the most interesting card in the game and most versatile. Replace Pump with Tombstone. Weird choice, but he's winning. Yes. Maybe he was expecting Royal Giant, and so he decided to go Golem and still have a building to deal with the RGs. I don't know. Oh yeah, Pump is also banned. That's a good point. Is Golem without Pump viable right now? This RG should get 3, I think. Maybe just 2 because the Golem pushes it back. Yep. Zanko saying, Rich, I always love Kitassyan's performance. And, wow, Kitassyan just runs right through it at the end. What a way to finish. Let's go ahead and throw the replay of that final moment. So here we go. One second. So these Evo barbs in the left-hand lane, Fishboy doesn't pull the Golem, Royal Ghost, and that NATO pulling back. Just cheeky. Just cheeky play. And that gives set number 1 to Enosis, which apparently means unity in Greek. Let's watch this one more time. Throws the RG right into all of that, and gets 2 shots. Goes to pull. Look at this. Fishboy to try to pull, and that's such a great prediction by Kita, right? That Fishboy is so far over, and then he has to fire a ball. Yeah, just perfect play. One second, folks. I have to handle this. Oh, let me go ahead and do the. Let me go ahead and do this here. Let's go ahead and jump into the gameplay. Give me 1 second. Oh, that should be... All right, 1 second, folks. Sorry, handling something. Hold on. Sorry, folks. I know that this is annoying when I have to not focus, but unfortunately I have to for this moment. Okay. Do that. And one other thing. And 1 second, folks. Let's see. Do you play what? Wait, is it lens or safe? I get some conflicting messages. Safe, IMO. Oh, yeah. I don't know, man. Maybe I don't know if that's if it's the it's supposed to be. I mean, it is safe. I don't know what's up with the picture. And then let me go here and here. All right. That will be an interesting question to deal with. Wow, well played, Kitassyan. Mad to think he's that without pump. Yeah, that was crazy. It's safe, but they showed lens first. Yeah, it is definitely safe. Not sure what's up there. And again, I apologize. I have to time-sensitive things that I have to handle. Let's see. All right, hold on. And I wish I was watching, because I see this as an exciting ending of 7 HP. But unfortunately, having to handle something. Crazy finish. Yeah, didn't even see how crazy the finish was. I'll have to go back and watch it later. But the unfortunate part of having a live stream while you also have to handle professional obligations. Let's see. How do I do that? Okay. But where is that? Where is that? And there we go. All right, Sta up. Wait a second. Yeah, Sta up next, right? Or are we already on the Kitassyan? Sorry, I'm so distracted. It's very annoying sometimes working internationally and getting lots of messages while you are streaming live. Okay. Where is that chat? How does that even work? How does that even work? Well, that's going to be a problem. All right. Well, you guys are hearing me grumble about weird challenges. All right. Well, I'll just have to handle that later. I don't understand the E-Giant Bowler play when Evo recruits are banned. I guess maybe it's just still a decent deck, but it really feels like the whole reason this deck exists is to pretty much counter recruits. And so now you're out here playing this recruits counter deck when you're not going to face recruits. To be fair, Safe does have dual lane damage. Wow. Nice defense. And honestly can't believe that one worked. But now he's going to be a little low on Elixir, and you see the lane switch coming in from Sta. Real big lane switch. And a lot of damage. A lot of damage in, and that Firecracker going to continue to be annoying. I don't think he protects it. Oh, he does. He does. And a bad nado from Safe. Just a not great nado. And a great work. Sta doing a good job of spreading this field out, right? He was the one under dual lane pressure early, but now he's completely flipped that script. The lane switch was great, but really it's from it's dual lane pressure is what's making this lane switch successful. That Golden Knight's going to do some decent damage. Get Safe back in the game. Drill might go to the back here just to spread him thin. And it goes to the outside. Goblins doesn't... Phoenix has a little couple stabs in, though. Big stabs. 721, 1441, and Firecracker to add to the lead. He might Firecracker. Oh, he did it a little early. If you wait a half step, you can pull. Doesn't matter. Gets the win anyway. If you wait a half step, you can pull the E-Giant across and then get Firecracker splash through there. It's a trick I used to do with running Magic Archer with Goblin Drill decks. All right. Tied up. Very nicely done. Oh, yeah, let me go ahead and change. Oh, no, we're still in the second set. Never mind. We are still in the second set. I'm still trying to figure this out. But it is not working here. Let's just go back to here. Why are you not there? I don't know what I'm looking at here. The Japanese surely love the drill and the cycle decks, LMAO. Yeah, maybe. Certainly did well with it there. That E-Giant pick was just so weird with recruits being banned. I think, let me just double check this. I believe that I can. Yeah, okay. Great. Okay, so that works. Just not on mobile. Got it. Got it. All right. Well, I'll have to, I think we're all sorted out on that for now, and here I am, back with you all. Isn't it good to see me? It's good to see you. And I'm ready for us to find out if Enosis can clutch this up and go to playoffs. Playoffs? Go to playoffs. Kind of surprised French SWAT made it here today, but they did. And so far, doing all right. Could be worse. Certainly could be worse. Len's up next. Taking his sweet time to get going. Maybe it's Sta taking his time to pick his deck. Who knows? I don't want to cast aspersions. But they are certainly taking a minute. Folks, let me give you a little layout of the esports landscape of what's coming up for the rest of this month. Let's see, on Friday, I'll be casting ESL, Snapdragon Pro Series. I think it's the last chance qualifier on Friday. I'll double check on what that is. And then we have World Finals, and I leave to go get ready for World Finals November 17th, so I'm actually going to be gone for a minute. Then after that, we come back. ESL Finals are Saturday the 2nd and 3rd of December. The last day of Royale Masters is December 6th. And where is... Wait a second. Why don't I have GKR Finals in here? When are GKR Finals? Are they while I'm in... Oh, the 23rd and 24th. That's next weekend, right? Oh, no, we already had that. It's the end of October. When is GKR Finals? Let me look at the calendar. Here we go. Let's go to gameplay here. Let me go look at the calendar for a second. Am I crazy? When is GKR Finals? November 6th and 7th. Why is that not on my calendar? Well, I'll put it in there. Morrow, yo! What's happening? Best caster for real. Thank you. Lens didn't request on time. Of course he didn't. Of course he didn't. So, Sta with a chance now to put his team in the playoffs with a win over Crazy Hulk. Seam has to be furious. And double checking on something here, as I may have some important information. Hey, Tossing Plastic, what's happening? Hope you're migrating south for the winter. Although it's pretty darn cold here too, so maybe you're migrating, maybe you're going to go and play in the Caribbean for a little while. Waiting on some information here from the League Ops, as Crazy Hulk sets up Royal Giant in the back. Maros, and you can play in Uruguay. That's a good offer. Fireball in, does get on the firecracker. Not the best timing. And again, no tank here from Sta. No tank, no problem so far with the lead, 1840 to 2538. These bats are underrated in the way they're helping control the control these Royal Ghosts. That's going to be a lot of damage here. That's going to be a ton of damage here. And Ghost doesn't even stop that big firecracker shot. Wow. RG for RG. Bats in the air. Phoenix doing its job, though. This Royal Giant could be a problem. Fireball gets on, and there's no way. Is Crazy Hulk going to do a ton of damage right now? Maybe even take the tower? Lead for Crazy Hulk here As that RG can't stop, won't stop, 82 HP, Fireball will do it. And Crazy Hulk getting a little crazy here, sending us to game 5. I thought we were done. I thought that was it. Not the case. Game 5, King of the Hill incoming. Kazutun with match point once more. Crazy Hulk could send us to the dual mode matchup and win a moral victory for his team. We'll see if he can. Crazy Hulk Kazutun coming up here in a minute. I am a little surprised, I have to admit. If we do make it to the dual mode matchup, it will be Kingston versus Kitassyan. I don't even know Kingston with an X. Who in the world? Who is that guy? Who is that guy? Let me go find him. Unless that's like a different name and that's not really his name. And they're doing this silly thing that all the Clash Royale players do now where they have 80 names. 85,000 names. Oh, it's Lens. Come on, dude. Just have a name. Bro, Lens has like 6 accounts. Only 2 of them are named Lens. And none of them are named Kingston with an X. I'm glad Malaya uses the main account for competitive purposes. Yeah. At least the rest of them all say light in them, so they're all clear. They're all at least, like, not totally insane. Like these guys who are like, well, I normally go by Lens, but also I go by Kingston with an X. Also, Reimer, Fahad, Flex, and XYZ. That wasn't a bit. That's actually all the different names that Kingston goes by. Who might be the best player out of India? Question mark? Game Saver, Kamal. I didn't realize that CR Supremacy League was still happening. Interesting. Maybe I'll cast some of that. We'll see. I have a mini account named Gargamel Shield, but at least I have a theme behind it. That's funny. That's funny. I mean, my minis don't match anything, but I'm also not a competitive esports player who has like branding attached to my different in-game names. Oh, Kazatun's also over. God, I forgot. I always forget about that. I always forget that that's over. Stop it! Stop it, everybody. One of my biggest pet peeves in all of Clash Royale. Oh, failed King Tower activation. Or failed King Tower pull, I mean. Unless he was trying to take it to the middle and then Ice Spirit it and not give up King Tower damage, which why would you care about King Tower damage at this stage in the game? And there he gets it done correctly. I wonder if maybe the... wow, he's just playing Mortar Rocket Cycle. I wonder if the Ice Spirit before had messed up the pull. Or if he Ice Spirited because he knew he messed up the pull. Either way. Now he's not messing it up. Mortar Rocket Cycle here is hilarious. And here we go. Rocket number 2 cycled. Evo Mortar down. Early Fireball to try to make some room here, but the Archers plus the Mortar will stop that Hog Rider from being a problem. I like this Hog Guards push here, just trying to make you do a little bit more. I don't think it gets to what you want, though. And we should see another... Oh, he didn't get the log. He got the log on neither. There comes the next rocket. Mortar placed high here to pull. Nope, going to NATO instead. Having both NATO and Mortar here is really nice for over. That little Night Log sequence might have actually worked against over there. But these rockets are just coming so fast. All it takes, though, is one Hog to break through, and Crazy Hulk certainly seems like he might be able to. Plays the Hog a little bit low, trying to give a little bit more time. The Firecracker doesn't get on it. Hog will be controlled. And here's the NATO to make sure it doesn't happen. Doesn't matter. Nope, he just plays the Mortar. And Mortar Rocket Cycle ends up clutching up for over for Enosis. And they will pass Seam and end up with a top 6 finish into the playoffs. Congratulations, Enosis. Unity of this team pays off. See what I did there? Because their name is Unity. You get it. And Seam certainly unhappy with the result. And we should be seeing our final standings here in just a minute. Congrats on to Staw on his MVP. Hopefully one day you are a real boy. And here we go. Final standings. No surprises here. CALALAS in first place. MKERS and Rising Sun, OLIMPO. Sony player teams at 4 and 3. That's really all you needed. 3 and 3. 3 and 4 for Tropical Gaming. And Enosis Seam left the door open for Enosis today. And Enosis took full advantage. French SWAT once again ends up at the bottom of the table, which has been their position for the entire year. So CALALAS and MKERS, I believe, will get a first-round bye in the playoffs. I think that's how it works. Not entirely sure. I'll double-check on that. And then Rising Sun, OLIMPO Squad, Tropical Gaming, and Enosis will all meet in the first round. And we'll see if anyone can unseat CALALAS, which will be difficult. Folks, let me go ahead and update the score, make it official. Boom. It's official. That's it for today. It's been a whole lot of fun. I hope you've enjoyed it. I know I have. And I will see you on Friday with ESL. I have a video I'm working on right now coming out very soon that I made with Mini. 5 ways to improve, 5 ways to help master Royal Giant. That's coming out here on the channel later this week. Please keep an eye out for that one. We'd really love to get all your support, get everyone to enjoy that one. And then I believe we're back next. Is that right? Let me just double check that. I believe we're back, yeah, Monday, Tuesday. We're back on here with the GKR finals as well. So keep an eye out. I'll put out a community post to help support the Royal Giant video when it comes out. I'm going to actually go jump into the editing for that right now. It's been a whole lot of fun, as always. Be excellent to each other, and party on, dude. Peace.